So what can I do for you? Yes, what can I do for you?
Well, currently I take the position of an agnostic atheist, as in atheist so far as I would be, as Richard Dawkins probably put it, an atheist or an leprechaunist, as in the fact that I don't believe something in terms
Sorry,
of
leprechauns?
A leprechaunist in terms of the fact that when I say atheist, I don't mean to say like or to put an assertion of the fact that God definitively doesn't exist, as in I can prove that via classical logic or any other means, but also in the fact that I believe that there is insufficient evidence for anybody to postulate that there is a God.
So you're a leprechaun?
Agnostic.
Okay.
Agnostic atheist.
Let's take to more like common sense, simple terms, right? Okay, so you're agnostic. Do you make a positive claim that there is no God?
No, I do not make that positive claim. I'm saying that
there could be God. So there could be a God.
I'm saying that is a possibility.
Okay. So what can I do for you?
I'm saying that would you have any logical chain of reasoning or any argument as to why it is possible for there to be God? Because I would put the positive claim that it is impossible in terms of the Quranic sense, or in terms of the sense that I've heard from other viewers of Abrahamic religions, of there to be an all omniscient God, in the sense that I would say that is impossible. I would put that.
Why is that impossible?
Because he's still, in terms of what I've heard other Muslims say, God cannot perform something contradictory to his nature, as in he's still bound in a sense by the law of non-contradiction logically.
Yeah, did I say this before?
No, I would say that is the reason I would believe that it's impossible for there to be an all omniscient God, due to omniscience itself entailing power, and for someone to be all powerful, you can't be bound by anything other than itself.
But did they ever say that God is bound by something other than itself?
The law of non-contradiction. For example, can God create a stone heavy?
No, that's a misunderstanding on your part.
Okay, yeah, sure.
When they talk about law of non-contradiction, they refer that this thing is not possible in existence, meaning it cannot happen, it cannot be conceptualized, it cannot happen. And if it cannot happen, your question itself is contradictory. Not that there is an invisible law that exists and the invisible law restricts God. Nobody says that.
No, I'm just trying to press on the point that if something cannot come into existence due to the fact that it's logically impossible. Would you agree with that?
It's not something cannot come into existence. Existence, by definition, is operating within rationality, or does it operate within irrationality?
Rationality is
existence is governed. Yeah, so existence is governed by a certain specific, consistent framework, rational framework, or things wouldn't be the way they are. You can become a banana tomorrow. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Tall is short. No, there are certain things that govern existence. Certain set of laws that God has put. So when you bring a possibility that is against these governing laws, it makes no sense. It's an irrational scenario and possibility. It cannot happen within this realm of existence because it follows these set of laws.
Okay, sure. So that's kind of what I brought up before in terms of the law of non-contradiction. Maybe you misheard me. These laws that you're describing, maybe in a more abstract sense, something that cannot happen. For example, a square circle. You can't create a square circle. There's no such thing that can exist. And the reason for that, wait, would you agree with that? There's no such thing as a square circle.
In our existence, there's no such thing as a square circle. Yeah.
So there's no such thing as a square circle. That itself is essentially something which is bound by said law of non-contradiction, and thus, therefore, if God cannot do something contradictory to his nature, in a sense, he's bound by.
Where does God can and cannot do? Where did God can and cannot do comes now? If you have, you're really being. I'm sorry, but you're really being irrational here in your understanding. You're clearly not understanding basic thing. If ever exists a squared circle, can a square ever be a circle?
Not via the laws of logic, no. Logically, it's impossible.
Not via any laws, because now it's not just the law of non-contradiction; it's the laws of identity, where for you to define
that's a logical law as well. That's a logical law.
I know. I obviously know the three. I know the three laws of logic. You're not really bringing anything when you say I know it is. I'm making a point different than what you're saying. Words have meaning. Do you agree with this or no?
Yeah.
The word square has a meaning, and the word circle has a meaning.
Yeah, and they're distinct, right?
Yeah, I'm making a point, right? So the word square is different than what the word circle means. Do you agree?
Yeah.
They don't mean the same thing.
Of course, they don't mean the same thing.
Okay, they mean different things.
Of course.
So if I say this is a square, it will have a specific description.
Yeah.
And that description is other than the description of what a circle is.
I mean, yeah. I'm currently you're just kind of
wait. I'm showing you the absurdity of what you're trying to claim. So if I say a squared circle, which definition is it going to have?
It would have neither definition.
So it wouldn't be a squared circle.
It's logic. It's impossible.
You just wait. You just agreed with me. Words have meaning. If it wouldn't have either definition, then it wouldn't be a square or a circle.
Yeah, and that is so it's impossible for that to be a squared circle because definitionally
it's not impossible. It's just irrational. It is refuting how you communicate and think and have a discussion to begin with. You cannot communicate. You cannot do anything without applying this reasoning first.
I mean, if
words have no meaning, if words have so let's accept what you're saying. Okay.
Well, what do you think I'm saying? Actually, I think you could.
Yeah, let's accept what you're saying. Let's accept what you're saying. We don't have to apply the laws of identity, the laws of non-contradiction, the laws.
Oh no, I believe in those. I believe in those. That's my point.
But you're claiming there is we can have an existence when these things don't apply.
I'm saying that theoretically, even if there is a possibility for an existence, that itself would probably be governed by some form of truth value or some form of law of logic. I'm saying that due to the nature of how essentially reality as we know it works, there can be no...
I'm sorry. The word salad doesn't work here. I'm asking you a simple question. Can it happen where we have... I'm asking a simple question. Please give me a simple answer. Without word salad, please. Can we have this idea, like I said, where words don't have meaning? Can we have... can that happen? Okay.
What do you mean by can it happen? What do you mean by can it? In terms of the sense... You're
asking a rational question now when you speak about God, correct?
Yeah.
Your question assumes the laws of logic are true.
No, that my point is based on the fact that
then we cannot speak. Okay, so if your question doesn't assume the laws of logic are true, then we cannot speak because my yes means yes. Sorry. No. When you say no, it means yes because the laws of logic don't apply. So yes can mean no.
No, my point is the fact that I'm proving.
What is the point? What does the point mean? What does the point mean?
I'm proving in a sense by contradiction.
Proving? What does proving mean?
I'm showing you by contradiction. I'm saying
how you show what does showing mean? What does showing mean? What is showing? No. What do you mean believe? Wait. What does believe? No. But what does it mean saying? What does saying mean? What does believe mean?
It's got positive.
No, sorry. What? Are you speaking language? Words have no meaning. I don't understand. How can we understand what you're saying? Sorry, truth means falsehood. What? Right? Wrong? What? Potato?
1 second. 1 second.
What?
Just be genuine. I believe in the laws of logic. I believe in laws.
You believe? What does believe mean? Believe means disbelief. What?
I believe in the laws of logic.
What does believe mean? Is that language? These words have meaning? What is that? Yeah. What are you saying? I'm hearing sound.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Really, I'm saying
I don't really understand. What does understand mean? I thought there's no laws of logic. What?
I'm agreeing with you in the sense that
what agreeing me? Who's me? What is me? What is you?
I'm agreeing in the sense that I believe the laws of logic are true. I'm agreeing with you.
Sorry, what? What is the laws? What does laws mean? But you said laws of logic don't need to apply in our conversation. You're not using them. So if they're not applicable in our conversation, then what does? How are we speaking right now? What?
I'm saying that I believe in the laws of logic, but by proof, I'm essentially trying to prove.
So let's come back. Wait. So actually, there is you're using the law of logic in our conversation, and you're assuming they're true. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say...
Why did you say... Wait. So why did you say that you weren't doing that?
I'm saying that if the laws of logic hold, it is impossible for there to be a God.
Can you make your statement, there is a God, without using the laws of logic?
You can't make any statement without using the laws of logic.
Okay.
Like you just demonstrated.
So therefore, voila. So therefore, any parables, examples, or questions that you will make assume the laws of logic. Therefore, they have to operate within the laws of logic. That has nothing to do with God now. No. It has everything to do with our description of things. Now, if you want to, if you are in a world where you can speak and communicate and operate without the laws of logic, then within that world, we can talk about the possibilities of things happening without it. Now, since we are in that universe and within that existence, any phrase you will make needs to operate within the laws of logic. If it needs to operate within the laws of logic, then if you bring an example outside these laws, then that example becomes false, meaning it's not conceivable. It cannot happen because you are using the laws of logic to make the example. So you're self-contradicting. And you're just making a self-contradictory claim.
Okay, how exactly would I? Okay, first off, I'm not keeping that as a premise in terms of the laws of logic. Whilst I'm using it as a form of utility, I'm saying that although in the sense that the laws of I'm not taking it as a premise. I'm essentially trying to prove in a sense by contradiction that if the laws of logic are universal, then there is something essentially above, quote unquote, above God. That's something which God has to govern within. Does God or does God not within?
That doesn't talk about what I mentioned. Doesn't refute what I mentioned. This just
okay.
It's the word salad. Has nothing to do with
how is it words? I can explain every single individual word I've just used and exactly why it's significant to this conversation. Pick one.
It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. That's why it's a word salad.
So I mean, you made the assertion that an all-omniscient God can exist. I'm refuting that because
I made no assertions. The assertion I made is all our discussion is operating within the laws of logic. If you present something outside the laws of logic using the laws of logic, it is an irrational speech. Cannot make any sense.
I'm not
for instance, do you agree? If I were to ask you the question, you answer this question for me. How many legs does the sun have from 1 to 10?
None. 0.
That wasn't my question. My question was from 1 to 10. How many legs does the sun have from 1 to 10?
Invalid. And
so there are invalid questions.
You're trying to say that my question is invalid.
No. This is the whole thing I've been this is the whole thing I've been trying to say to you from the beginning. Your assertions of that you try the examples, all the examples that you try to put that are opposite.
I didn't give a single example.
Using the law. You did the square circle. What do you mean? You literally gave an example. You're not listening to yourself. So when you give an example that is opposite to the laws of logic, using the laws of logic, that is an invalid question, is an invalid thing, is an invalid statement. That doesn't now render God being powerful or not powerful. It just shows you that you are making an invalid statement because you're contradicting your own laws of logic that you're using. Let me finish. You're contradicting the old laws of logic that you're using to make the argument to begin with. So you cannot contradict the assumptions. You cannot contradict the assumptions that you make, that you're building your whole discussion.
I just said I didn't take his premise.
The assumptions are the laws of logic. So that the laws of logic exist in a discussion, whether you like it or not, or we cannot speak. If these laws of logic exist, then they're already assumed. If they already exist, if you bring something that is contradictory to them, there is an invalid argument to make. It's an invalid discussion to make.
Sure.
So your argument is invalid. Okay, therefore, it has no relation with God being powerful or powerful. It's just invalid within the rationality.
No, because my assertion wasn't about the laws of logic specifically. My assertion was about God's power relative to the absolute assertion of the fact that the laws of logic are true. Both of us.
What is your assertion? What is your assertion?
My assertion is due to the laws of logic, due to the existence of the laws of logic that we both agree on, to believe in an all-omniscient God is irrational. Due to that, and I'm saying
no. I'm saying no. Well, give me an example where it's irrational. If your example is
I'm trying to prove to you logically. It's not square circle. I'm not saying contradiction.
Listen, my friend, you gotta listen more than you talk. Listen, because you're not listening.
I mean, if you play this,
you claim you
3 times as long as me.
Yeah, because I'm explaining to you. But if you're listening, you wouldn't be. If you're listening again, you see, you're talking over me. If you're listening to where I'm trying to explain to you, then you wouldn't be repeating the same thing over and over again. The reason I'm talking more than you is because I explain the same thing to you over and over again, but you come back and repeat the same.
You took it as
I didn't explain it
as a premise.
Okay, I'm going to give you a last chance because at this point there will be no point. This is the last chance I'm going to give you. You claimed, okay, is it irrational to say that the laws of logic operating and God being all powerful, these are two contradictory things, or that they don't apply, they cannot happen at the same time? I said, no, I believe that they're very rational. Then you said, you give an example where they're not. You gave the example of the squared circle. So then I explained to you the squared circle. You didn't give the squared circle.
I'm saying that's an example of the law of non-contradiction. I wasn't explaining that's why the reason I
listen. Okay, so go ahead, give me an example. So give me an example.
I'm saying that if God cannot do something contradictory to his nature, and what his nature is essentially a nature of which, for example, something which is contradictory to his nature. This is the example I gave of the square circle. It's just a general example of the law of non-contradiction.
So you did give the example.
No, that's not exactly.
Oh my God, man!
I didn't give that example.
Do you have an example? Do you have an example?
Yeah, the main example is the fact that God cannot create a stone too heavy for him to lift, essentially.
Okay, that's gibberish, the same as the gibberish of.
No, but I can tell you why that's gibberish.
Let me finish. Listen. I asked you to give an example. I asked you to give an example. You give an example.
Yeah, but I'm going to explain that example. You didn't let me explain the example. You're just countering my point without an explanation. You're literally just countering.
You just said an example and you stopped. Then when I started speaking, you started speaking. Okay, so relax, chill.
It's just
I know it may be difficult. Look, listen. It's difficult for you to understand a very simple concept because you want to stick to something that is clearly, obviously false. The example of God creating a rock that he cannot, an all-powerful God creating a rock that he cannot lift. It is the same as saying all-powerful, not all-powerful in one sentence. God all-powerful being not all-powerful, not all-powerful. That's why it's gibberish. It is gibberish, the same as me saying, how many legs does the sun have from 1 to 10? So you providing me gibberish, it does not work in reality. Therefore, I can reject because you're using the laws of logic to make that question. And they are all against it and they're gibberish. Therefore, I don't need to respond to gibberish except saying that it's gibberish.
No, but I can tell you why.
Just like how many legs does the sun have? It's just invalid gibberish.
No, for example, I can tell you exactly why the sun question is gibberish. Because it does have a truth value. That question's truth value is false. Yet the options which you gave weren't corresponding to a truth value. They were corresponding to an arbitrary data set. For example, you gave the data set of 1 to 10. In reality, the answer is
tell me about the sun.
Which is false.
Tell me about the sun. Why is it wrong?
Because you said between 1 to 10. That's wrong because you gave an arbitrary data set. You never asked about the truth value of a question.
Why is that wrong? Why is that wrong?
Because 1 to 10 doesn't fall within the actual data set of the truth value of the question. Because
it's contradictory to the reality of the sun that the sun doesn't have legs from 1 to 10.
No, I'll tell you why. Because
it
doesn't have legs. It doesn't have, in terms of legs, in terms of having legs or not having legs, that's a question that's determined by truth value. You gave an arbitrary data set which doesn't suffice that said truth value. Your arbitrary data set of 1 to 10 doesn't suffice that truth value. But
so it's contradictory to the truth value. It's contradictory to the truth value.
No, it's not contradictory to the truth value because that's categorically different if you gave an arbitrary data set. Essentially, that's like saying...
My friend, please stop with the word salad and give us...
I can explain all of these words.
You're not explaining. You just keep using... You just keep using word salad trying to justify...
Okay, I can explain all of these.
Give us in simple words. Give us in simple words. Why is the question? How many legs does the sun have from 1 to 10? Why is that question invalid? Give us in simple terms without using word salad. Go ahead.
Because there was no option of the true answer being given, which is 0.
Okay, so that option is invalid. In relation, wait, let me finish. That option is invalid in relation to the reality of the sun, correct?
Yeah.
The option of God being an all-powerful, not all-powerful is invalid in reality to God who is all-powerful. Therefore, it's the same.
No, but the reason your question...
Okay. Thank you for your time. Arnav, I think that's very simple at this point. We're not going to keep going in a waste of time circle over again saying the same thing. This is atheism, guys. This is atheism. This is the salad they have to go up and down, jump and lift it, right? So they can somehow try and justify the atheism that they're trying to give us.
بشركم اليوم السرور